Welcome to the news at 6:30 tonight. The stage is set for President Trump. And right now you're looking live from our Veterans Memorial Coliseum in downtown Phoenix. That is where President Trump is set to kick off another rally here in Arizona. Just about 30 minutes ago, Air Force One touched down over at Sky Harbor. And just moments ago, the president made his way out onto the tarmac. Mr. Trump was greeted by Governor Ducey and Arizona RNC Chair Kelly Ward. And we have team coverage for you tonight from inside the Coliseum and outside. Protesters and supporters, we've got all of it covered for you up until the moment the president takes the stage. And that tonight is the big story here at 6:30. We are now less than 30 minutes away from President Trump's rally over at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Let's go ahead and take you there live right now. CBS 5 anchor Chris Pickle and our political editor Dennis Welch, they are standing by. Hi, guys.
Hello, Brandon. You can hear Donald Trump Jr. is on the stage behind us right now, getting the crowd fired up. You know, this is more than just a campaign rally. This is an event for the crowd that is here. They expect a show tonight, and they are getting it, and they consider President Trump one of the biggest showmen out there, not just a politician. They like the entertainment factor of these rallies. But, Dennis, this is also bringing out some of the biggest names in Arizona politics.
It certainly is, and we were talking about how it's an event. I'm talking, if you were here, you would think this was a rock concert if you didn't know that Donald Trump was going to be taking the stage. We've been talking to people all day, extremely excited here to see the president. They like this president. They say he's not politically correct, that they're tired of politics as usual, but they're getting a lot of politicians here talking, getting an earful of politics here today. We've seen congressmen, congresswomen here all day, what was strolling through here, speaking on stage. We saw Congressman Andy Biggs. We've seen Congresswoman Debbie Lesko take the stage. But most importantly, we saw Senator Martha McSally on this stage today. It's very important for her, this event. She's in for a tough election fight this year with the Democratic candidate Mark Kelly. He's raised over $20 million. I want to show you a little bit of sound here from McSally, tying Mark Kelly to the front runner right now in the presidential primary, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Take a listen.
Mark Kelly is saying that he is willing to sign on to the Bernie Sanders agenda of socialism. Can you believe that? So let me ask you that. Are we in Arizona, are we for socialism? No. Are we for the government takeover of health care? No. Are we for open borders? Are we for free health care for illegals?
Well, once again, a couple things I need to say about that. A, that's going to be a lot of what you're going to be seeing for the rest of the year is tying that Democratic front runner, if it is Bernie Sanders, to Mark Kelly. Now, the second thing I want to mention is that Mark Kelly did tell one media outlet last week that, yes, he would support the eventual nominee no matter who it was, even if it was Bernie Sanders. But I need to clarify that he gave 3 different answers that day. So it's very unclear at this point if Mr. Kelly will indeed stand on the stage and give a full-throated endorsement to Bernie Sanders if he does win that nomination, Chris.
Dennis, I can tell you it is so loud right now with the crowd, with Donald Trump Jr. Sometimes it's hard to hear. We're hoping that you can hear us okay. The crowd right now is at capacity. We're told that we hit 20,000 people. A lot of the people who are in here now spent long hours outside in the sun and in the heat. That's where we find our Morgan Lowe. But Morgan, the people who are here are very excited. We did not hear a lot of people complain about having to wait to get inside.
End of the line. We are at the end of the line.
The line snaked through the Coliseum parking lot. You came from Minneapolis for this event today.
That is correct.
Supporters from across the country and around the state.
We don't normally do this kind of thing, okay?
They told us they're proud of the job President Trump has done so far.
This is the greatest economy in America's history, and he's only halfway through.
We're running a $1 trillion budget deficit. Does that concern you?
It does, and I guarantee it concerns President Trump.
We spoke to supporter after supporter, and we challenged some of them.
The president campaigned on the idea that he would build a wall and Mexico would pay for it. Mexico's not paying for it. Does that bother you?
No.
doesn't bother you?
No, we've lived here since 1958, and I think it's time to make some major changes.
Does the way he carries himself off, does that bother you?
No. I think it's refreshing.
He makes fun of his opponents. He calls people names.
I don't blame him.
And that is a lot of what we were hearing from the supporters. They are with Donald Trump. When you point out some of the things that Donald Trump maybe had been exaggerating, or some of the accomplishments that maybe have not gone all his way, they say they are fine with that. They are with Donald Trump, and they would like to see another 4 years of him. Chris and Dennis, we're going to send it back into you guys.
Yeah, and I can tell you that's a lot of the same of what we are hearing from people that we talk to inside, is they don't care who's paying for that wall, that they are supporting of the president. You can talk to them about maybe some promises that weren't kept. They don't seem to care. They just want 4 more years of Donald Trump.
Yeah, they say they like the jokes, they like the attacks, they like his politics, and they like it when his speeches go a little meandering. They say it shows that he's a real person. You can hear they're excited to be here, and they're waiting for Donald Trump to get here. But we want to go outside right now again, where Monica Garcia is, because this is a political rally. But Monica, people are taking the opportunity to make money from both parties here today.
Yeah, we'll get to more on that in just a second, but I do want to show you the folks behind me. You just heard the cheer. The folks that have decided to stay said that they're going to stay out here and watch the Jumbotron, because at this point they've said that inside the Coliseum is at capacity. And some of the folks did take off and said they were hoping to actually get to see Donald Trump with their very own eyes. But a lot of the folks that you see, they say, you know what, it's just neat to be out here. They do like the environment. It's been called like a carnival environment. A lot of people just kind of embracing each other, showing off, like you said, a lot of that Trump merchandise. I did speak with one of the vendors. He said he made $2,500 today. Isn't that pretty remarkable? But I will say it is interesting to look at. Earlier, when we were showing those live aerial shots, this was the same area that was jam-packed with people, those long lines that just snaked around for all those folks waiting to get inside. I talked to a volunteer who says he estimates that around 31,000 people showed up here today. I can tell you that outside the gates here at the Arizona State Fairgrounds, there was a little bit of an incident with a protester. I'm not sure if we have that video. There were a lot of the protesters hanging out on the other side of Encanto, but one did kind of cause a little bit of a stir, but DPS was able to do what they call a hands-on removal, and they did remove that person out. Other than that, they said no incidents, and you can see if you still want to come out here, there's still room. People are gathering and just obviously waiting for President Trump to show up. Live from the State Fairgrounds, I'm Monica Garcia. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I can't imagine waiting in that line for all those hours right now and getting denied access. But for people here, they are really enjoying themselves. They are captivated by Donald Trump Jr., who's on stage right now.
Yeah, obviously, exceptionally pro-Trump atmosphere in here. People are very excited, but not everyone agrees with the president's policies. A free speech area has been set up about a half-mile away from the Coliseum. That is where we find our Kim Powell. And Kim, that is where protesters are assembling.
Yeah, it is pretty loud out here right now. I'm sure you guys can tell. This is the freedom of speech zone at the intersection of 18th Avenue and Encanto. You can see right behind me hundreds and hundreds of protesters out here. We're actually going to keep it kind of wide because some of their signs are vulgar, but obviously a lot of signs out here, custom-made T-shirts, and you can hear them chanting right now. We can hear their drum beating. I know I heard one of their chants said, "Vote him out." Now, all of this, of course, is happening right across the street from where the Coliseum is. Now, the line that we could see earlier is all gone. I mean, people were zigzagging through that for several hours, but now it looks like most people are much closer to the building. Just high energy out here from both sides of the spectrum here. While protesters are out here getting their voices heard, many, of course, heading inside, hoping to hear what President Trump has to say. Take a listen.
I love this guy. He loves the people in the United States. Everybody, 90% of people in the United States love him. What he's been doing for us is unbelievable. I'm an entrepreneur. She works for an airline, and everything he's doing is awesome.
I don't know what has to happen to our country to get people to understand that his agenda is his agenda It's not about us. It's really not. And if you just listen to him with an open mind, it's all about him.
Now, there are some pro-Trump supporters out here on the opposite end of the street of the protesters. Now, we have heard them kind of bicker back and forth, but other than that, there hasn't been any incidents out here that we've seen. There's obviously a heavy police presence out here. I can see some officers up there on the roof just looking over everything while people make sure their voices are heard. But they've made it clear they're going to be out here all night, and so are we. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, and I think the big question is what's going to happen after this rally here this evening. Now, some of the protests, some of the supporters of Trump I've talked to in here, they don't seem to be pretty worried about that. They don't think it's going to be a repeat of that 2017 rally.
And the security is very tight around here, and they did set that area far away from the Coliseum to try to avoid the two sides clashing. But we are expecting President Trump anytime between 7:30, closer to 7:30 at this point. You think it's loud in here now? Wait till the president takes the stage, and we will have complete coverage for you coming up tonight at 10. Brandon, back to you.
Yeah, Chris and Dennis, solid work out there. Hard to hear you at times. That crowd just so excited to have the president arriving here in the Valley, and what is going to be a pretty raucous rally tonight. We'll check back in with you guys coming up in just a few minutes.